Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys are all having a really great day. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a review and demo and first impression on the new Anastasia Modern Renaissance Eyeshadow Palette. If you watched my recent Ulta haul, which I will link for you down below if you'd like to check it out, it was really a collective haul of a bunch of different things, but I did also purchase some things from Ulta. I showed you guys that I picked up the new Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia. So of course I had to jump on here and do a little review and demo for you guys and let you guys know my first impressions and thoughts about the palette. If you're new to my channel, hey, my name is Faye. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me for today's video. I really hope that you enjoy, and definitely make sure that you go ahead and subscribe before you leave so that you can become part of my fam here on YouTube, and of course make sure that you never miss a future upload. So if you would like to hear my thoughts and opinions about the new Anastasia Modern Renaissance Eyeshadow Palette, then please keep watching. Alright guys, so before I get started, I do want to quickly mention what is on my lips. This is the lip combo that I was wearing in my giveaway video for back to school. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, I will link that for you also down below so that you can check it out and enter if you haven't already. But that was easily the most asked question on that video. What am I wearing on my lips? So I wanted to mention it really quickly before I jump into the review. And it is this little baby right here. This is a NARS lip color in the shade Overheated, and it's basically like a satin kind of matte, similar to like the NYX Velvet, I don't remember what they're called, the matte lip creams, the NYX matte lip creams. The consistency or the formula is similar to that, but I also have on a Milani lip liner in the shade Cocoa, which is basically just a brown lip liner. So I just wanted to mention that really quickly because a ton of you guys were asking, so hopefully that information is helpful. Alright, so now that we've got that out of the way, we can go ahead and jump into the review of this eyeshadow palette, and of course we are going to start out with packaging as usual. So when you actually purchase the product, like I said, I purchased mine on Ulta online, and it was shipped to me along with a couple of other products that I purchased, but this is the box that it comes in. It pretty much looks exactly like the palette, and then on the back it shows you all of the colors that come in the eyeshadow palette, and then of course some other information on the back of the palette per usual. But when you take it out, this is what the palette looks like. Like I said, it's the same packaging as the box, but the actual palette itself is like a velvet material, which is really nice. Probably will get dirty really quickly. I have been storing mine inside of the box, but nonetheless, it is very nice, luxurious packaging. And then when you open it up, you have a mirror up top. And then, of course, you have all of your eyeshadows. The palette does also come with a brush, as usual. This is the standard little eyeshadow brush that I think all of Anastasia's palettes come with. But it just has a blending brush on one end and then more of like a shadow type synthetic packing brush on the other end. And then you have 14 shadows that come in the actual palette. The palette is a mixture of matte, satin, and shimmer shades. And all of these, I think, are very kind of fall appropriate. I don't know. To me, it just reminds me of fall and just makes me so excited for fall, but the colors are absolutely stunning. So this palette retails for $42, and just want to read you guys really quickly a little bit of information off of the Ulta website as far as the details that they have listed for the palette. It says on here that it's an essential eyeshadow collection with 14 shades, including neutral and berry tones. Includes a double-ended shadow brush, crease and fade resistant formula, stays put for hours, mirrored compact, slides easily into your bag for on-the-go application. So pretty much pretty standard information for the Anastasia eyeshadow palettes. I did go ahead and show you guys a quick little demo of this eyeshadow look that I'm wearing on my eyes right now. All of the shadows that I'm wearing are using the Modern Renaissance palette. So let's go ahead and jump into that, and then I'll be right back to let you guys know my thoughts and opinions about this eyeshadow palette. So first things first, the very first thing that I'm going to do is prime my lids. You guys know that I always do this. I'm using my MAC Lay Low paint pot, and I'm just going to apply that with a brush and then blend it out with my finger. And then after that, I'm going to go in with the shade Tempera. This is basically just a matte beige shade, and I'm just going to apply this all over my entire lid to set the eyeshadow base. And then after that, I'm going to go in with my crease color. The very first color that I'm going to use is the shade Raw Sienna. It's a really beautiful, warm, kind of camel brown shade. So I'm just going to buff this back and forth in the crease. And the one thing that I really loved about these shadows is that they do blend out really nicely and super easily. So next up, as you can see, I picked up the shade Red Ochre. This is also going to go in my crease, but a little bit lower than Raw Sienna, and this is just going to start to create a little bit of depth and dimension in the outer V and crease area. So after I've got that applied, I'm going back in with my original blending brush and just making sure that there are not any harsh lines. And then following that, I'm taking a flat concealer brush and picking up the shade Vermeer. This is basically a champagne kind of color that has a very pink undertone. I'm applying this all over my entire lid, and after I applied it, I did realize that it was a little bit more icy pink than I realized. So I went in with the shade Primavera, which is more of a bronzy gold shade, and just applied that right on top. And then after that, I went back in with Red Ochre and just blended out any harsh lines and applied a little bit more of that shade on the outer V. So next up, I'm picking up the shade Cypress Umber. This is just a beautiful chocolate brown shade, very rich chocolate brown shade. This is going to go in the outer V. I'm also buffing this around the outer portion of my lash line as well, and then of course, like I said, applying the product in my outer V, and then going back in with my original blending brush and just blending out any harsh lines. So as you can see, I did go ahead and apply my lashes and liner off camera because this video is not about that, but in my waterline, I'm using the Tarte Smoldering Eye Pencil. It's basically like a chocolate kind of brown shade, and then I'm going back in with Cypress Umber and I'm placing that right up against my lower lash line. And then to buff and blend that out, I'm going to be going in with the shade Red Ochre on a pencil brush, and I'm just going to buff out that dark chocolate brown shade. I didn't want it to be too smoky, but I also didn't want it to be a harsh line, so I'm just going in and buffing everything out nicely. And then here I'm going in with a little bit of a thicker pencil brush and buffing that out even further, and then picking up the shade Vermeer and applying that in the inner corner. So to finish off the look, I'm just going to apply some mascara to my lower lashes. You guys know how much I love my MAC Giga Black Lash, and that is going to complete this quick little demo and eye tutorial. And as you guys saw, all of the shadows blend out effortlessly, are super pigmented, and all of the shades are absolutely stunning. Alright guys, welcome back. I hope that you enjoyed that quick little demo of how I used this eyeshadow palette for the first time. And as far as my thoughts and opinions about the palette, I absolutely love it. If you've been following my channel for a couple of months or, you know, since the beginning, since I've had YouTube, you would know that I am no stranger to Anastasia eyeshadow palettes. I have a ton. Ever since the, I think Emreezy palette came out, which y'all know was a long time ago, I wanted that palette and I did not purchase it, and it ended up selling out and they did not restock it. And ever since then, whenever Anastasia launches a palette, if I feel like I really want it, I just go ahead and buy it, because there's nothing that haunts me more than the products that I didn't buy. So ever since then, whenever Anastasia comes out with an eyeshadow palette, I'm just like, let me just go ahead and buy it, because I might want it later and then I'll be hating myself if I don't pick it up. But as you guys saw in the swatches and in the demo, the shadows apply so nicely. It's so buttery. They're so pigmented, as usual with Anastasia products and eyeshadows. I am never disappointed when it comes to purchasing palettes from Anastasia. Another reason why I love purchasing palettes from Anastasia is because I just think you get such a great deal. It really is such an amazing bang for your buck to pay $42 and get 14 eyeshadows that are still the same consistency, the same formula, the same amazing quality as her single eyeshadows. I personally would just rather purchase a palette than to have to pay, you know, $14 or however much to just purchase one single eyeshadow. So that's just my personal opinion. And actually, I think that you can get 6 eyeshadows for $40, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's something like that. You get 6 eyeshadows for $40 of the single pan, whereas I spent $42 and I got 14 eyeshadows in this eyeshadow palette. So I just find the eyeshadow palette so much more worth it. So I definitely don't own any of her single eyeshadows. I just always go for the palettes whenever they launch, and I just think it's such a better bang for your buck. So absolutely love this eyeshadow palette. Absolutely love Anastasia. I love her eyeshadows. I love her formulas. There is not an eyeshadow palette that she's came out with yet that I have not liked. I do, of course, know that $42 can be a little bit steep for an eyeshadow palette. But again, if you're interested in picking up some high-end eyeshadows, I do think that it's worth it to pick it up in a palette as opposed to picking up single eyeshadows. So yeah, I think that that's all that I have to share with you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know down below in the comment section. I always love chatting with you guys down there and answering any questions that you have. And of course, if you guys have purchased the eyeshadow palette, please let me know your thoughts and opinions on it. Do you love it? Do you hate it? I would love to know your opinion. And yeah, I think that that's all that I've got for you guys. So if you're new, don't forget to subscribe on your way out. If there are any other products that you guys would like for me to review from my haul, feel free to let me know that down below as well. If you have not followed me on my other social media sites, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, those will be linked down below for you as well, so make sure to check that out. And again, if you have not entered my back to school giveaway, I will link that for you down below as well. Tons of good information in the description box, y'all. So definitely check that out, expand that section, check out all that information down there. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below in the comments. So thanks again so much for joining me for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up if you did. And I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye.